I microdosed off and on with magic mushrooms for about a year, and by the end of that year, it had changed my life so much for the better. There wasn't really a point to continue to take them. Blah. Okay. Keep going. The FDA is not here to help or protect people. The FDA's primary objective is to protect Big Pharma. I've read the studies, and they are extremely promising. Thank you, Paul. MDMA saved my marriage. My wife and I were able to freely talk about our problems and understand each other so well the few nights we enjoyed Molly together. The years spent at marriage counseling were nowhere as successful when compared to the breakthrough talks had with my wife on Molly. Go ahead and show more comments. And that's the same thing that they normally say. They talk about with tripping, where a good, especially a heroic dose is 20 years of therapy crammed into fucking 3 hours. The irony is that MDMA was originally manufactured by Merck almost a century ago and was psychotherapists. It was psychotherapists in the 70s who started using it in clinical settings. It wasn't widely known drug, still using it in clubs in the 80s. Da, 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 da. Yeah, but it opens up, they call it basically, I did a podcast years ago with one of the MAPS therapists, Dr. Cole Marta, and he basically he described it as the MDMA works is like with people with PTSD. The reason they have PTSD so bad is they can't get it out. That's the hard part, is getting it out. And he described the MDMA as kind of like a doorstop to keep the door open so they could let it all out, blah, blah, blah. And then, I've had a number of friends who came back from Vietnam traumatized and unable to cope. 3 eventually committed suicide. Maybe had these treatments been available, they'd still be alive. Yeah. The only reason is now they know it works. Big fun. Yeah, almost like an ivermectin deal. The big I. Big pharmaceutical companies have and they're going to try to get into it. Big surprise. They only approve joyless, toxic, very expensive poisons peer-reviewed and published by pay with a litany of insane side effects. When I traveled south, people said, "Oh, be careful, they have cartels." I replied, "Well, yeah, we have the FDA." Good one, Silvio. He probably stole that. Right, more like there is no money in cures, the FDA, LOL. They would rather have billions of dollars in anxiety, PTSD, and other meds come forward. They aren't interested in anything else. Scam. It's a crime. You're goddamn right. Dollar bill. That's right. All about the money, and that's how you get people to do bad things with money. It's not about the greedy people. It's not about the greed. That's how you can buy people, do shit, do bad stuff. That's why it's not the love of money is the root of all evil. It's actual money is the root of all evil. That's why that dude, they say it was real, flipped over the money changers table because they were ripping people off with the original fractional reserve banking. Oh yeah, we can go to that kid that you showed me on. We can show his thing about going to the Fed. But the FDA is okay with 20. Mickey, is it Mikey? It's Mickey. 20 million Americans drinking themselves into chronic liver disease. Yep, that's right. I suspect the FDA panels would be against a cure for cancer if that cure, yeah, they are. It's called THC and a bunch of others.
This keeps bouncing.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
jumps.
me.
It jumps. The point was because everything that pops up is going to be fuck the FDA.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the good part. The real story is in the comments where the people are talking the real shit. The fucking article is a bag of shit paid for, to a lot more lies paid for. The FDA is controlled by Big Pharma. The last thing they want is competition. MDMA would be an exceptional drug in therapy of PTSD. So the numbers are there. We used to take it in the late 80s. It totally opened you up. Ooh, that's disgusting and hot. And almost literal. Opens your heart, opens your legs. And that's why it's called Molly? I don't know. Another combat disabled veteran here that wouldn't be alive without MDMA and mushrooms. Those experiences saved my life. Zing, zing, a bing, bing, bing. Thank you for giving the WIP even more credence. Think another, what's that? Most likely the FDA is refusing to release these drugs as they don't get the payback from. Yeah, like ivermectin, the patent, they can't make any money off it. That's another reason why they were going to it and making people stupid about it. Big surprise there. The results will end their pill factories. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's pretty much saying the same thing.
That's right.